Well, 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 look what the cat drug in. It's Drizzt and his best friend, Wolfgar, and another best friend, Artemis and Churi. Gotta love those assassins. I'm sure they'll never backstab you and screw you over, or steal your girlfriend and bang her behind your back. Well, anyway, and speaking of which, whoever drops in, you disgusting viewers, just kidding. I appreciate everyone who comes in. And we appreciate each other around here. We are playing Elden Ring before the DLC drops, and I'm currently getting my ass handed to me in every possible boss fight. So I figured I'd go back and redo some audio. Here we are at the Foreskin Duo. We got the ice cold Icingdeath. We got the big fatty running me over, and he runs a train on me. And then we got tall skinny guy. Essentially, this was just turned into a DPS fight. And with the two helpers, it was insanely easy. Almost too easy. So I'm not against summons in any way possible. I'm a casual gamer. Alright, I like to have fun when I sit down and play video games. But if the game's too easy to using summons, try not. You know, sometimes it's fun to struggle. And also, Black Knight Tish, Artemis, makes every boss extremely easy. Like, I'm pretty sure he's the reason why I could beat half the bosses. He does a damage over time dot, just like Maliketh's. He's extremely nimble and fast. He actually dodges occasionally. And for some reason, he does body checks into people and fucking floors them. It's hilarious. Anyway, as you see, the fight's going extremely well. We destroyed the Foreskin Duo, and one thing I didn't notice, sometimes you can do some extra damage while they're dying. So, you know, don't skimp out. Here we are against Placidusex, or Grand Dragon Pussy Sex. You're not really missing out on much of the fight. 90% of the fight is just me running to his tail and slapping the tip. So if you're ever having trouble with a dragon, go get the tip and be rough with it. Anyway, with that being said, another thing I forgot how to talk. One thing I feel like was complete cheese is the whole frost damage. Like, I thought bleeds were cheese tactics. Frost is just another whole level of cheese. And look at that tail. He literally pushed me back into the thunder lightning. And I just can't dodge. And it's not because I sucked. It's because we're flaunting. We have too many crimson flasks. He's not doing enough damage to us, so we don't want to hurt his feelings by not soaking up some hits. So we're just going to kind of tank through everything with our light armor load. If you're wondering the stats, we had 60 stamina, 45, what's that called? Endurance. And the minimum amount of mine to summon Black Knight Tish, so 30. And then I just threw the rest in. Oh no, I threw whatever points left over at 160. I threw in dexterity, and I just threw everything into intelligence later on in the game because I'm using essentially a split build. We have magic damage on one sword, and actually both swords because of the ice. So it's just all magic damage. And honestly, I saw better gains, short-term gains, with using magic intelligence. Here we are, positioning him perfectly into the wall. He blasts everywhere else but us, and it just turns into a melee hit frenzy. No tactic, just smash and slash. Beast Clergyman, I usually struggle with him. I believe, I won't lie, some people won't believe this, but it took me about 45 minutes to beat this guy. Yeah, I struggle with Maliketh, alright? It doesn't matter that I learned that if you stay in his crotch and sample the goods, it's extremely easy, and you block, and you just dodge most of the attacks just by being too close to him. So, get in, get dirty, do what you need to do, beat Maliketh. And he's actually, I hate him when I fight him, but I think he's one of the most fair fights in the Elden Ring base game, where he's tough, he does a shitload of damage, and he's completely merciless. But he has actually a pretty small health pool. Like, we can melt it fairly easily. Godfrey, not my favorite fight, but you know, this is one of those times too where I'm flexing and you know we're just mistiming our dodges. You know, you don't got nothing on us. Horaloo, Godfrey. You know what we do have? Black Knight Tish blasting him in the face with that Spectre attack. And then I forgot he does this double hit whammy bammy. There goes the summon. Anyway, we use our incredible agility, aka unlimited endurance, and we just panic roll the whole time. For some reason, with me and Horaloo, look at that. His life is just draining because of Black Knight Tish. He's dead now. We're actually gonna have to fight him, and it's pretty embarrassing because there's like literally 2 minutes where I'm just getting kicked in the face and having to heal. Instead of I would just went in for aggressive attack, I would have killed him. So lessons were learned. We go in to kill God, and not just any God, Radagon of the Golden Order, the 2 gods in one. You know what's better than killing 1 god? 2 gods at the same time. Delicious. You know what's also not so delicious? 50% of humans, well, I don't know if it's Americans, but I'm just gonna say humanity in general, do not have an internal dialogue. So essentially what that just means, if you're like me, you have nothing going on in your brain. It's just silence. You're just zoned out, blinked to the world, and that's kind of scary because it's not really scary, but it explains why when I meet some really stupid people, explains how they are, and not even if they're stupid, you know. Explains how this community is. Just kidding. I love my community. They're awesome. We talk about games. We talk about music, movies. What nerds talk about? Fun stuff. Speaking of fun stuff, if you also like what you see, I post pictures of my pugs all the time. So enlist in the Bellarswood Army to get some free pug pics. Anywhoosies, the Elden Beast. I finally figured out with this run, it's my third run after I beat the game. Once he does his stupid Elden Ring attacks, and he does his little spin, do a 180, because he is going to be on the opposite side of the arena from where he's launching. So if you're having issues with the Elden Beast, you always seem to be a mile away from him, do that. You will close the gap every single time, I promise. And also with this lightning blast, just run around in circles. As you can see, I was running circles, we got kind of nipped in the butt. But anyway, Elden Beast, we can use Torrent, but I do find when I'm using to close the gap, that thigh gap, he just likes to use that 4-hit lightning beam attack, and here goes Arvis stealing my thunder again. But he likes to use that the 4 beams, and it kind of it messes me up every time. So I just avoid that in general and just dodge attacks off of Torrent. I'm really bad at dodging attacks on Torrent, and I don't think you can dodge them while you're on Torrent. Anyway, with that little tidbit, here we got Moog, Lord of Blood. This guy was actually, I had trouble with him the first time I played against him. I think it took me like 5 tries. This was like my second or first attempt. Maybe this was my first, maybe my second. I'm pretty sure it was my second. I don't think I'd do any bosses in my first try, even with summons. But anywhoosies, I'm living dangerous. I'm not doing stamina conservation at all. And it pays off. We get a crit, we get a slash, we get to smash. You know what you need to get a smash? The like and subscribe button. I desperately need the help. You know, I thought I could be a middle-aged man who can be entertaining on the YouTubes, but apparently I'm not, and I'm about ready to give up, folks. So if you like what I do, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, I'm going to be kind of going for more of a relaxed, let's hang out kind of vibe. Look at that. He just body checks Millennia. I'm going to call it Millennia just to pee her off. I'm trying not to swear as much either. I know it's disgusting. But anywhoosies, Millennia, took me about 45 minutes to tries. Usually I fight her for 2 to 3 hours, and I might not be able to fight and beat her. But anyway, we cheese her. Well, what do you really cheese her? We use the summon, alright? There's This boss is a complete crapshoot. She heals way too much. She has way too many hyper armor. She's constantly doing that lazy side swipe dodge. I hate everything about her just because if she didn't have the hyper armor, she wouldn't be shit. If she didn't have the heal but she had the hyper armor, she still wouldn't be crap because her health pool is relatively small. She just heals so much that it becomes a battle of attrition, and she always wins. She does. Oh man, look at that hit! Look at that hit. What was that 3% heals? So her max health, she did heals 3% of it. Like, just disgusting. And it always feels like we're always one step behind. Well, anyway, we get lucky. Instead of using waterfall dance literally every 20 feet, she onions a second time. She never onions twice. And here we are as Drizzt, bloodthirsty, craven, wanted to get that pass, to get some smash. I don't know what I'm trying to go from there. Well, anyway, she does have a weakness. She kind of staggers a lot when you just hit her with R1s. So we just hit her with basic L1s and just kind of stunned her. It's not really a stun. And here, while she's distracted with the meat and the potatoes, here we come with the little draw action, stab her in the back. Here we are, an age of fracture. The new Elden Lord, Drizzt, tamed the lands between. There's no DLC content because it didn't exist as of this recording. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you around for the next one.